So we do have a quorum now, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Public comments. I see one member of the public in attendance.
I think it's all staff and press.
Oh, okay. So I guess we're good to go into new business, which is the second reading of Resolution M09 Attachment B. The motion is to revise Attachment B of Resolution M09, the candidate registration form, such that all questions in Section 2 of the form are identified as optional. The purpose, in effect, is to remove confusion about the necessity to respond to the questions in Section 2 of the recently revised candidate registration form. Background: when the Bylaws and Resolutions Committee submitted their proposal for revision of the candidate registration form, there was acknowledgement that some of the questions in Section 2 were not directly related to the current requirements for candidate eligibility as set forth in the OPA bylaws. The position was that those questions would be of potential interest to voters, and on that basis were of value. There was no intention that answering these questions would be a requirement for a candidate's application to be considered. The form that was approved did not indicate this. This proposed motion corrects that and removes any confusion about the necessity for candidates to answer the questions in that section. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Good. Comment. So the application will be public record, correct? And be available to be viewed by all association members, correct?
Yes. It will be posted with Resolution Resolution M09. So does that answer your question, Doug? I'm sorry, I was distracted by my phone.
Because again, trust me, I'm in support of this. I just want to make sure that the public's going to interpret things a certain way. Whether we like it or not, some people will look at it and say, well, if they didn't answer the optional questions, then obviously they're trying to hide something, or hey, they're optional, so guess what? They're optional. There's nothing we can do to control that. I just want to make sure that if it's public record, people understand that there's going to be different perspectives on whether or not those questions are answered.
And I have a comment too.
Yes.
The only issue that I have is that if the bylaws don't change the way they think that we hope, I guess we want them to change, then we need to go back and take another look at this form again in regard to a couple of these questions. So nothing we have to do now, but I think if depending on how the bylaws vote goes, then we have to take another look at this. I'm at the point at this point where if these questions are optional, I'm not sure they have a lot of value anyway. So but anyway, just as we move down the line, depending on how the bylaws vote goes, then we need to sort of put a tickler on this, that we need to take another look at the form.
I would agree.
My only question was, if someone's already filled out and turned in an application, I know we have one so far, and it's the old application, do they need to resubmit this new one, or is it any application is good at this point?
Well, as of today, what we had was the old application form. And so that is to be accepted because that's what we had. And now, if this is approved today, this will be posted, and henceforth candidates will be required to fill out the new form.
Right.
And I agree with you, Larry, on revisiting this form. There are a few questions in section 2 that do speak to eligibility to serve. And while they may not be required to complete the application process, they would be helpful to the secretary as she is vetting the candidates. Doug, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I just like to make a recommendation that if you've received an application already, I'd reach out to that individual with the new form so that every candidate is being, I guess, kind of evaluated on the same form. It's rife for question. It's just an administrative issue, but to be on the safe side, I strongly recommend just reach out to that individual, say, hey, we had a last minute change to the form, please resubmit it.
Yeah,
And
I agree with Doug, and I don't think we can force them to do it, but there's plenty of time to get it redone before the deadline, so.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a good point.
My suggestion would be that at this point, since there's multiple forms out there, that we take any form that we get and we treat them all equally.
No, I disagree.
Well, I think we have to,
Consistency.
yeah, I think we have to take them as they are. But like I said, I don't think we can force anybody to submit another form because this one isn't official until we get done voting. But
Exactly.
it would be just for consistency, it might be nice to have everybody fill out the same form. If a candidate refuses to, then a candidate refuses. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The person would say, well, hey, I already submitted it. Okay, but at least we gave them, nobody can come back and say or argue that there was an inconsistency in forms. We want to go on record as saying we updated the form, gave that individual an opportunity to resubmit the form, and he or she did not, but we still accept the original application.
Yeah, or that
Okay,
we
yeah, as long as we're not eliminating
Agreement.
anyone.
Yeah,
Correct.
Exactly.
and also I can hear the comment that, well, you're giving favoritism to this one or that one, So
Yep.
just a suggestion.
So the consensus is that we reach out, ask people to complete the one applicant that we have, or any applicants that submit an old form to please complete the new form, but whatever they give us will be accepted.
Yeah, you should talk to Piatti and have Piatti do it as the chairman of the search committee, because quite honestly, we should have no idea how many applications have been submitted at this point.
Yeah, and he's scheduling a candidate workshop soon, and that would be a good time for him to address this. So I will.
I'd leave it up to him, Colette.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving this form as revised, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and then the only other comment that I should have made earlier is that we have 2 excused absences today. Frank Daly and Richard Farr are on travel, pre-scheduled travel, and we're not able to make it today. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
Aye.
Hey, Colette, I'm
Okay.
going to give you a call here in just a minute, okay?
Okay, so adjournment at 9:09 a.m. Thank you.
Nice.